Tech titans, including Elon Musk, Meta Platforms CEO Mark Zuckerberg, Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai, and other tech CEOs met with lawmakers at Capitol Hill to discuss AI regulation. In fact, Tesla's CEO Elon Musk has now called for a US referee for artificial intelligence. More than 60 senators took part in this AI forum. Lawmakers have said that there was universal agreement about the need for government regulation of artificial intelligence. Democrat Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer organized this forum. He said that they got a great start on beginning to deal with one of the most significant issues facing the next generation. Musk has said that there was need for a regulator to ensure the safe use of AI, and according to him, it's important for us to have a referee. He added that a regulator would ensure that companies take actions that are safe and in the interest of general public. Musk has said that the meeting was a service to humanity and said it may go down in history as very important to the future of civilization. Interestingly, the Tesla CEO has called AI's double-edged sword during the forum, and Zuckerberg said that Congress should engage with AI to support innovation and safeguards. This is an emerging technology and there are important equities to balance here, and the government is ultimately responsible for that. This is what Musk had to say. He also added that it was better that the standard is set by American companies that can work with the government to shape these models on important issues. Before I bring in my guest today, who is the tech editor at Insider, Tekendra Parmar, let me also play out some reactions on this news story.
We had a diverse group of participants. They talked at each other unvarnished. Everyone learned from everybody else. And so I am really pleased. As some of the people who came out said, it was historic. We got some consensus on some things. First, I asked everyone in the room, is government needed to play a role in regulating AI? And every single person raised their hands, even though they had diverse views. So that gives us a message here that we have to try to act, as difficult as the process may be.
The key point was really that it's important for us to have a referee, just as you have a referee in a sports game, or all sports games, and that the games are better for it to ensure that the players obey the rules, play fairly. I think it is important for similar reasons to have a regulator which you can think of as a referee to ensure that companies take actions that are safe and in the interest of the general public.
All right, Tech Features editor of Insider, Tekendra Parmar, joins me live from New York City. Many thanks to you, Tekendra, for joining in. Now, we've heard Sam Altman raise concerns just a few months ago in a testimony to the US Congress. These tech titans also have raised concerns earlier in an open letter too. But what's significant about today's meeting with US lawmakers? Also, what does Elon Musk mean when he says that AI needs a referee?
Right. Thank you so much for having me. So this latest meeting is one of many that have taken part in this past summer on the consequences of AI on American society. One of the first meetings was with Sam Altman, founder of OpenAI, which is one of the biggest AI companies right now. This meeting was with some of the biggest names in the tech industry, from Elon Musk to Bill Gates. And we're seeing some very similar rhetoric come out of it. That means everyone is talking right now about how we can mitigate the harms of artificial intelligence, from misinformation and disinformation to the impact on American jobs. So this is a really important meeting, and one of many important meetings on the subject that has happened over the last summer.
All right, taking a cue from ChatGPT, which we know is based on generative AI, in March, Goldman Sachs warned that AI could replace 300 million jobs, and that's perhaps only one aspect to the repercussions of AI. What are the legal, technological, and ethical questions being posed by the unbridled use of AI?
So, that was in March. That has already taken place. Over the last summer, AI was already one of the largest leading causes of job loss in the United States. So the problems that we are facing with AI have already happened. It's just a matter of fact that we're already behind on the regulations required in order to moderate the impact of artificial intelligence on people. The other large consequences are we don't know necessarily how artificial intelligence acts. Let me give you an example to sort of illustrate this. For example, if you want to tell one of these modern large language models, I want you to find the quickest route from Brooklyn to Manhattan. It will do that. You will not know how it does that, but it'll eventually grow wings and do that. Because the quickest way to get from Brooklyn to Manhattan is to fly. The problem here is not knowing what steps in the evolutionary process of the large language model did it take to get to wings. And when we don't know that, when consequences do arise from artificial intelligence, we don't know how to solve those consequences because we have let those large language models learn independently and act independently of a human pilot.
You know, in other discussions, Tikender, many tech experts have in fact quoted by saying that the biggest, largest conundrum these days is that AI is trying to manipulate your perception of reality. How do you break down that thought when they say it's trying to manipulate your perception of reality?
Look, I don't think AI is trying to manipulate our perception of reality, but I think an over-reliance on artificial intelligence might lead to some negative consequences. For example, if you're relying on ChatGPT, the GPT-3 model that is available to the public right now for large-scale data analysis, you'll see that that model fails, but is very confident in how it gives those responses. That's not to say that in the future, these models will not be able to execute that kind of data analysis to an excellent amount of proficiency. That's just right around the corner. But the problem right now is that these models are very confident in giving out wrong information. So they're not trying to manipulate you. This is just the bug in the system at this point. But where it works really well too.
All right. Take it the last question. You know, in April, the Indian government, however, told Parliament that it was not planning any restrictions on AI, which it described as an engine for economic growth and entrepreneurship, especially for a country like India, which is an economic superpower. Could such, an emerging one at that, but could such complacency by governments the world over prove to be short-sighted?
Definitely. India ignores artificial intelligence regulation at its peril. I want to underscore that point again, so I'll say it again. India ignores artificial regulation at its peril. Some of the greatest concerns of the Indian economy, from the high youth employment rate to the impact on democracy of misinformation and hate speech, artificial intelligence is going to exacerbate that, and it's going to happen at lightning speed. So I have noticed that Indian regulators have been changing their tone, but like I said in the beginning of this conversation, the consequences of artificial intelligence have already been shown in the United States. These conversations about regulation are happening too slow, even though they seem to be happening right alongside the development of these technologies. If India waits any longer, it risks severe consequences.